time for Cigar Talk, the fastest growing cigar show in the nation. Whether you're a new cigar enthusiast or a cigar aficionado, we have something for everyone. Bringing you the best interviews, cigar reviews, and weekly giveaways. So grab yourself a cigar.
It's time to light 'em up.
Welcome back, Cigar Talk. I'm your host, Rob Jones. We have Super Fly guest host in the house, Brian Falconer. How you doing today, Brian?
Bro, I'm doing good. Doing good, man.
Awesome, man. Hey, well, let's jump right in. Tell everybody what we're smoking. I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. I'm smoking a Perdomo Craft Series beer.
Nice.
This is a bad stick, bro. Thank you.
Hey.
I want to thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I am smoking a Punch Bare Knuckle.
Yes, sir.
Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
I thought it was Brass Knuckle.
Bare Knuckle.
Bare Knuckle.
Bare Knuckle.
Okay, hey.
B-A-R-E.
Well, thank you for this. I'm smoking a great draw, a little spice right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'll let you know a little bit more throughout the show
Yes,
what
sir.
I think.
Yes, sir.
I haven't had this particular stick before. This was Torpedo.
Yes, sir.
And anyway, so far so good.
So far, so good.
So anyway, let's talk about last night.
Bam.
Dude, that was
Bam.
a blast.
Bam.
Now, everybody's doing virtual herfs.
Yes, sir.
Everybody. And here's the thing. Last night, we had the first Super Herf. And what I mean by that is, first of all, we put it out on Instagram, put it out on Facebook.
Yes, we did.
Next week, or I'm sorry, the next time we do a Super Herf, we'll send out an email to all of our listeners that have registered. So if you haven't registered, there's another reason to register. We're not going to blow you up with emails all the time, but when we do something special, we want you to know about it.
Because we want you there.
Because I get a lot of people that always tell me, oh, man, I missed that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll make sure everybody knows. But last night, we sent out invitations across all social media platforms. Yeah. And we had a Super Herf, and you say, well, what is a Super Herf? Okay, we didn't just hang out and smoke cigars.
Nope.
We actually
had a ball.
Had a party.
Yes, sir.
I mean, did you see what I was drinking?
Yeah, that
Dickel Bottle and Bond. Dude, that's 14-year-old bourbon. Yeah. Holy shit.
He was handling it like it was Dickel, too.
Oh, man, that was good stuff.
I had my Woodford.
Oh, you had Woodford last night. Nice,
yes, sir.
nice.
Yes, sir.
And I started out the night with a Perdomo 1964, fantastic smoke. And then I smoked, I think, 2 or 3 RoMa Crafts.
Yeah.
And then I smoked an Oliva. I smoked the Medallia.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a party.
Yeah, I started off with the Sumatra. They went to that Barber Pole, a RoMa Craft, a Bare Knuckle, and I ended the night with the another Punch, Bare Knuckle.
Nice.
Two in a row. It's like it's time to go.
Well, and here's the thing. You say, well, what made it a party?
Hey.
I mean, first of all, we had people on all over. We had people from other podcasts on the show.
Yes.
We had people from cigar lounges on the show.
Yes, sir. Owners.
We had Mike Rosales from RoMa Craft stop by.
The Ro in RoMa Craft.
Yeah, the Ro in RoMa Craft. And you guys, today, our special guest is Mike Rosales from RoMa Craft. We had him on just a little bit a little bit under a year ago. And we wanted to get back with him, see what's going on with him. But anyway, let's get back to Super Herf. Now you know who's going to be on the show.
Yeah.
So anyway, we did Name That Tune.
Bruh.
And we had several rounds. And here was the cool thing. If you won a round, and I think we did probably 15, 20 songs.
Yeah.
And then whoever was the winner of that round, Jay from the Leaf, put together a care package, and these care packages
they weren't skimpy.
No,
sir.
No,
sir.
I mean, there was cigars, there were ashtrays, there were lighters, there was Cigar Medic,
there was toilet paper.
Oh yeah, he put a roll of toilet paper in every giveaway. So, if you're having trouble in that area,
you got a free roll.
Covered.
Yeah.
So anyway, we just had a blast. I think we ended up having 5 rounds.
5 rounds
of giveaways.
It was scheduled for 3 and it went to 5.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
That's a heavyweight.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so anyway, and I'll tell you, I got to give a shout out to Big Tony.
Man.
Because that dude, let me tell you something. If you're ever going to go against somebody and name that tune, make sure it's not Big Tony.
Anything has to do with trivia, man. He was naming stuff that was going on with the songs, and who was this, and what did they do with that? And I was like, dude, come on.
He was even saying, what year did that come out?
Well, what album was it on?
Who originally wrote that song?
Come on,
I was like, dude.
All I know is Smokey Robinson.
And hey, and he knew music from every genres.
All genres.
It was crazy.
Man, it didn't matter what was being played. I know that. And that's because he won the first round.
He won the first round.
He couldn't participate.
We wouldn't let him play.
But when nobody could answer that tune, he had to answer for it.
Right.
He's like, come on, Tony. He's like, hey. I was like, bruh.
And most people probably already know Big Tony, but if you don't, he is a cigar rep for Espinosa Cigars. Big shout out to Espinosa. We're a big fan of theirs, but it was just a big fun night.
It was.
I mean, we had people from California, Chicago, Hawaii, yeah. And, it was just all over, and it was just a big fun time.
It caught us off guard. We all sitting in the dark, and he look at him. His sun still shining with mountains behind him. He's like, where the heck is he? And California's dark right now.
No, right. And it was just a really good time getting everybody together. And I think that it was just a little bit more of what we're used to because of all the fun partying together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think we started at 9, and I think I closed it down at like 1:30.
Yeah, because I got off at 1:15. So
okay, so we got off all pretty much at the same time. So anyway, we're going to be doing that at least once a month. I'll send out invites even on our email registered listeners. So if you're not registered, go by the website. Yes. You know it. It's cigartalkpodcast.com. Click on the register button, and that way you'll be registered not only for our giveaways, but we'll give you notifications when we do Super Herfs.
Yeah, special things like that because we appreciate who you are. Just taking our time of your day to listen to me and Rob go back and forth, and we appreciate that. So we want to do things for you. And this is one. If you'd have been on that Super Herf last night, you would have enjoyed yourself, man. Oh, with what's his name, where he couldn't win because his wife was answering.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was Justin.
Yeah.
His wife was knocking it out of the park. She was about as good as Big Tony.
To tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because when I sat back, I was like, wait a minute, man, Jay giving away too many good gifts. I'm going to get in on this.
Yeah, because I was like, how come Brian ain't saying nothing?
I was just like, to me, I felt like it was wrong for me until I started seeing the gifts he was giving away. And I was like, forget that. But I couldn't beat Chelsea, man, because me and her were 1 and 2, and then she just walked away from me. I was like, and then there was songs that was in my list.
She got like 6 in a row.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
She was
goodness.
rocking it. So anyway, guys, let's talk about McAuliffe for a minute. They're our sponsors. We're so
100%.
grateful
100%.
to have McAuliffe as our sponsor.
Yes.
If you didn't get to see it, I don't know if you saw this, but I was actually interviewed on their show.
Yeah, that's special.
What's it called?
I'm gonna stay out of that.
No, it's not off the record.
Yes, off the record.
And got to hang out with Andy and Sam. Great guys. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch it?
Part of it, the end, because I didn't know when it was going on.
I gave you a lot of good shout outs, by the way.
Jay told me, but I didn't hear anything until the end.
Well, it was a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen that, go over to Facebook. If you're an ambassador, it's easy to find.
Easy.
If you're not an ambassador, go by our website, click on all the different links that say become a McAuliffe ambassador, and you'll get a coin, you'll get a handwritten certificate, you'll be able to log in under the private Facebook group, the McAuliffe ambassadors.
Become a part of the family.
And everybody gets their own number. And on the off the record, Andy, he had to say, hey, what's your number? Hey, what's funny though? He said, if you think, his is lower, but he said,
lower.
Guess what mine is?
Yeah, it's like 30 something.
And I said, and I thought for a second, and I said 32. And he said, damn, it's 33.
Yeah, it's 30 something. I was like, man, he got it. Well, then again,
Hey, I figured, 1 through 10
it was gone.
Has got to be right. And I was like, so I don't know exactly when Andy joined up in the ranks, and I was kind of figuring it out. Anyway, that was my lucky guess. Pretty close.
Very close.
I mean, because it could have been anything between 1 and 100. Yeah. So
true.
True. But anyway, you guys definitely go by and check out McAuliffe. They've got a lot of cool things going on. In fact, if you go by our website right now, there is a link for the Leaf.
Yeah.
And the Leaf is doing some special McAuliffe packs.
Yep.
So you can go by there, click on the link, and there is Jay's email address. I think I'll put up his phone number as well, so you can call him up and get on some of those special deals they got just for the McAuliffe.
And the thing is, those sample packs these are just not torcedores and things like that.
Oh,
he has
this cover. I bought one.
I got one too.
Yeah, and they cover the spectrum.
The spectrum, and the thing that I really appreciated, he has the No Name in it, a No Name Maduro.
Yes,
and they are the first editions. So, and the new ones are coming out. So this is the end of that first line. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you get one of those packs, you have one of the first editions. That means it goes in the bottom of the humidor. And hold on to it.
Hang on to it.
Hold on to it, man.
You got one of the first runs.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, guys, we're going to give Brent from the Train Car a call. You guys know that we did our very first episode at the Train Car. So we wanted to reach out and talk with Brent for a moment because he's doing a special RoMa. Let me rephrase that. He's doing a RoMay special.
RoMay.
It's hard to say that. RoMay.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get him on the phone, talk to him for a minute, and find out a little bit more about what that is. And we'll let him tell you about it because it's a really cool deal for the month of May on RoMa Craft cigars.
Hey, Rob, how you doing?
Hey, man, you're on the show with Cigar Talk. We just got through giving you an introduction saying you're doing something really badass with RoMa Craft, and it's called RoMay, which is difficult for me to say because I always want to say RoMa. So
exactly.
Hey,
well, I might have even bastardized it a little bit. I hope not, but I was coming up with something with the RoMay challenge. I've done other things like I did. They do the RoMA for Roma. I have a sampler that I put together called the Bopper, BOPR for box press. And so I did something on the same idea. So the RoMay. And so we called it the RoMay challenge. It's Roma all May. And it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really badass what you're doing for the RoMay. So tell our listeners a little bit about it. I mean, if you're a RoMa Craft fan, you're going to want to check this out because this is a really cool idea. Now, did this idea come from you, or is this something RoMa Craft is doing, or is this like Train Car specific?
This is Train Car specific. It was an idea I had, so I reached out to John Dolliver first. He's my rep, and wanted to make sure that we could do that. Everything would be cool on it, and I figured it would, but I just want to touch base with him, and he was on board. And so what we did is we put together, there's 32 core line RoMa Craft cigars. There's 31 days in May. With everybody dealing with coronavirus, not doing things in solidarity, doing things together, we wanted to kind of get together, something that we're all doing at the same time. Might not be at the same moment every day, but get a group of, of weasels, the guys that love to smoke cigars.
Oh, yeah.
That love RoMa Craft, that love the Train Car. We're going to be all smoking the same cigar on the same day. So what we did is we put that sampler together. It's 32 core line cigars, and we have them numbered. And everyone who orders it, we have a laminated instruction sheet, and there just lists the cigars. But I actually label each of the cigars 1 through 32. Number 32 is the HN Neanderthal. That's a bonus cigar. There's only 31 days. You can smoke that one whenever you want.
Nice.
So.
And that's a great bonus stick too, being the Neanderthal. That's a great bonus stick,
exactly. Yes, I'll tell you what, even if you don't compete in the RoMay challenge, it's worth buying the sampler. It's 32 cigars. It's normally $300 retail value with tax and everything on those. We're doing a double box discount for $240.
Wow.
So you're getting 20% discount on it. And so I don't normally discount cigars like that, but I think this is a fun thing. And so the first bonus is just buying in. If you buy into it, you get the cigars. You can smoke them however you want to do it. But if every day you tag the Train Car and you use the hashtag RoMay TCCB, that's just hashtag RoMay TCCB. First rule, I will say, you had to have bought in through the Train Car. If you just have everything on hand and do it, you can play along. But you're not going to qualify for the other fun stuff.
Gotcha.
So for everybody who bought into it, that's the first step. And then if they tag the train car and it's either on Instagram or Facebook, they can go back and forth. We can look at that and track it. We're tracking it through that hashtag though.
Oh, so you can post on Facebook or on Instagram.
Oh, you could go Facebook on the first, Instagram on the second, but just post every day for a month. Show what you're smoking, show that cigar, but we're all smoking that same cigar. And among other things, it'll kind of get some of that solidarity. You're like, hey man, this guy over here, this guy over there, I got a guy in Illinois, I got a guy over here in South Texas. They're all smoking the same cigar as I am on the same day. Something to kind of raise our spirits. So everyone who buys in and does it, at the end of the challenge, I'm going to send them a RoMa Craft hat and a RoMa Craft t-shirt to their size. So it'll be for them. And then of all the completed entries at the end of the month, also what we're going to do is we'll draw from all those people. One of them will be selected randomly. And we're going to send them a bigger merch package or a swag package. It's going to have the RoMa Craft Go Ruck bag with the patches on it. It'll have a little
nice.
field kit.
Yeah.
It's going to have one of the Wicked Anvil ashtrays, a pair of the MTX Zycar scissors with the RoMa Craft logo on it.
Oh, nice.
And a Weasel can that you can put into your cup holder in your vehicle as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's a really awesome package. It's a fun way to all get together, smoke cigars anyhow. And we've had good response on it so far, and people have been really excited. And
yeah, and
I was excited.
I will say this, man. Out of all the shops that I've been to over the last probably 2 years, you are like the RoMa Central Capital store that I've been to.
Hey, that's awesome.
You are the RoMa store. I mean, if you want, because you carry more RoMa than anybody that I know. Because you carry,
I keep every core line in stock.
Yeah,
it's always in stock, and I've got a lot of the LEs. I've got in my humidors right now available. I've got the Blockhead in both the Chromag and the Aquitaine. I've got the Venus in both the Chromag and the Aquitaine. I think I have 2 or 3 Neanderthal samplers that have 2 of the HOXDs, 2 of the SGPs, 2 of the HNs, and then 2 of the LH. The LHs, we sold out of all the boxes almost immediately, like everyone else seemed to have done.
Right.
But we had put together some of those samplers. And being in a small town in West Texas, normally this stuff sits around because it's only the core people I have that know to reach out to us. I've got guys all over the country who call me and place orders. But we launched our website. We relaunched it, I should say. We've always had a website. It was pretty static. My good friend Mick did a lot of work on that for me, and we finally got our e-commerce side set up as well. So we actually have shop.thetraincar.com. We're getting more cigars on all the time.
Hey, well, let's talk about that for a minute. So if you're listening to this episode, we're going to put up a page for the Train Car on Cigar Talk. So if you want to participate in the RoMay event, you're more than welcome to do that. Or if you're just looking for, you're a big RoMa Craft fan and you're looking for some 5-packs or whatever, Brent will be able to help you out. And so I'll put that link up on the website as well, Brent, and that way people can find you easier through Cigar Talk. So we'll make that happen. And, here's what I was thinking. I mean, and this is going to sound crazy, and I'm a little crazy anyway. So what I was thinking is there's 32 cigars in this pack, right?
Yes, sir.
I think we should have another deal later on, maybe at the end of the summer, where you redo this same thing, except we have a contest to see who can smoke all 32 cigars in a 24-hour period.
Oh, you trying to kill somebody.
Back in April of 2018, we nearly did that. We took a trip. 4 gentlemen and myself went out to RoMa headquarters for the first time ever. And I've never smoked that many cigars in my life. It was the best road trip I've ever been on with friends. It was a blast.
I remember when you did that. That was awesome. In fact, me and Bryant went down just like 3 months later and went down to the headquarters of RoMa Craft, and it was pretty awesome just sitting around smoking RoMas.
Oh, yeah. It's a blast. So I can't wait to do it. We laid it out pretty cool, this RoMay challenge. We keep working our way through all the lines. So instead of smoking all the Intemperance EC the first 5 days and all the BA21s afterwards, we're working our way through. The first 6 cigars are the 4x46s. So we're starting out with the EC Charity, the second to be the BA Intrigue, step up to the Whiskey Rebellion Hamilton. We'll do a Chromag Pastera, an Aquitaine Pastera, then that Neanderthal HOXD. So people who haven't smoked all the RoMa in the first 6 days, they're going to smoke one of each of the RoMa blends.
Very nice.
We didn't include Baca because Baca is not really a core line. It's kind of a limited annual release right now. I'd love to see it become ultimate core line where it's always available, but it's just not there yet as far as having it available. So
I got you. So,
but yeah, we'll have to have a longer period for the next one if we did that.
Absolutely. Hey, and me and Bryant were talking about maybe sometime in the near future, depending on what's going on with this whole coronavirus, whatever we got going on with that at the time, we want to come back up to the train car and hang out and do a show. And I mean, even with what's going on, you have an outdoor patio, so we could actually do the show and still maintain social distancing.
Oh, we could definitely do that. I've had guys out here, every day smoking a cigar out on the patio since this started. It started on the 19th of March for us. And I've actually been at the shop every single day since. And I do have a few staff now working a little bit.
Nice.
But we're still doing to-go orders. We have guys that'll come and buy a cigar. They'll sit outside and smoke it. I've been shipping more and then figuring out the web side of things as well. So, the outpouring of support we've had from our customers and from cigar people, I've said it for years, are the absolute best people I know. And it's an easy way to judge somebody. If they smoke a cigar, they might not be a better person, but more often than not, if someone's a cigar smoker, I already have a better idea of what kind of a person they are.
Yeah, and it's easy to develop a relationship with them because you already know what kind of a person they are. Out of all the different topics that we could be doing on a podcast, we feel blessed to be part of the community of cigar smokers. You know what I mean?
It's amazing.
So, hey, we got one of the reasons we wanted to have you on for this announcement is because we have Mike Rosales coming up here in a few minutes for the interview. So we thought this would be the perfect time for you to announce that. Now, I don't know if you already know this, you may or may not, but Mike was telling us that the Weasel Fest party is going to be September 5th, as long as the coronavirus thing is over and done with by then. Do you know about that?
Yes, sir. Oh man, we can't wait to do it. I can't wait to get my hand on some of those, the Solomon Perfectos, those big Perfectos they've got. Man, I cannot wait for that. And the only way to get those things is by going to Weasel Fest.
Well, let's all hook up and let's make it a big party from, the Leaf and the train car and everybody in between, and like book up a whole block of rooms at the hotel and just have a bash.
Dude, we need to do that. Get the West Texas cigar smokers heading out there.
There you go, man. Hell yeah. So, well, hey, man, thanks for joining us, and we'll put your information up on the website. And if you need anything from us, feel free to reach out at any time. And is there anything else you want to add before we go?
I think that's it. I was just going to say, so if anybody wants to order it, this is going to go live on Monday.
Okay.
I'd like people to order by Tuesday, and I can get it shipped to them to show up Thursday. If someone orders it on Wednesday, it's going to show up. It ships second day air, or not second day air, the 2-day USPS packages. But I have seen USPS takes 3 days on some of those. That's where I'd love people to order by Tuesday, so I can make sure I get it in their hands on time. Otherwise, they're going to have a hard time getting that first day's challenge completed if package is showing up late in the afternoon. So
I got you. Well, maybe you can let them smoke 2 cigars on the second day.
I can check that track. We can look at something. So I hate to turn down a fellow Weasel who wants to participate with us. It's going to be a great thing, and it's a lot of fun. I'm putting more of them together now. I think the website currently said 4, but I'm going to add more onto that. And so if someone does go to buy it, it says sold out, call the shop. It's 432-270-6113, or message me on Instagram or on Facebook or on my email address, bstrandy@thetraincar.com. But reach out, and if there's any issues with it, reach out to me, and I'll make sure we make it happen, because I got plenty of cigars still to keep building them. But awesome. I'm putting 10 more together right now because we're down to 4 of them. So
wow, that's awesome,
They're not going to go. We're going to make them. We got plenty of cigars to do it, and we really appreciate that, Rob.
Hey, we're here for you, brother. You need anything at all, reach out. We'll be willing to do whatever you need us to do, man.
Well, I miss you. I love doing shows with you. First show, baby. I'm going to mention that too. We were first show twice, right?
Twice, that's right. We did a show, the equipment got stolen, and we got pissed off and didn't do it for another year. Then we finally got our shit together, went back and did a show, the first episode of all times. And I tell you what, this show has grown as far as technology goes, because the first show, the audio quality sucked, but I've had so many people reach out and tell me they love that episode because you and Camille's episode was such a great story about how the train car came about. So even though the sound quality wasn't where it should have been, the content was fantastic because of you guys.
Well, that's awesome, man. We loved it. We love Cigar Talk. We love you, Rob. Bryant, we haven't met yet, but I can't wait to meet in person as well. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, hey, man, take care, and we'll be talking to you real soon, brother.
Hey, y'all be good, and we'll see you guys in September. Hopefully before then, but we'll see you in September at HQ.
Sounds good, bud. Have a good day.
All right, be good, guys. Thank y'all.
We'll see you, man. Yeah, man, I love Brent, dude. Him and his wife, Camille, they're awesome people. They really take care of their cigar consumers down there. And, dude, you haven't been there yet.
No.
Dude, let me tell you something. This is a badass cigar shop. It's 2 train cars, and then they have this badass wooden deck patio, and then they have this, like, huge courtyard with a stage. I mean, they have like musicians come play, and you hang out and smoke your favorite sticks and drink your favorite beverages. I mean, it's an awesome cigar bar.
I saw it. I passed by it the first time I went to Big Springs to get to the VA.
Oh yeah, the VA's there.
So every time I went, I'd pass by there, and because I would go in and drive around a little bit. And I was like, I really didn't understand what it was. And then when we started doing this, I was like, oh, so that was a cigar shop.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did I miss out on that?
Yeah. Well, you know what? We will have to go down there in the next few weeks and do a show from their lounge or from their patio, because it's awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, go by our website. I'm going to post some pictures of their place, because it's not like any cigar shop you've ever seen. So go by and check it out. Definitely go by if you're a RoMa fan. Dude, this is an awesome opportunity. 32 RoMas.
That's a blessing, man.
For $240.
Yeah, that's a blessing, man.
I mean,
dude,
that's normally the price of a box.
Yeah.
And you're getting 32 smokes.
32 quality RoMas,
right,
too, man.
Right.
And you're going through the whole core. That's the thing I was sitting there looking at. I'm looking at the 32. I'm like, wait a minute. It's almost everything.
Yeah.
Whew.
And just so you guys know, Bryant's in the studio wearing a RoMa cap.
Yeah.
So, hey, guys, we got one of the owners. We don't have Skip Martin on, but we do have the Ro of RoMa Craft coming up next. So don't go anywhere. You're going to want to hear his interview. We'll be right back after the break. Hey, guys, thanks for hanging through the break. I have Mike Rosales from RoMa Craft with us, and we've had Mike on the show once before. It was back in June, episode 24 and 25. So if you haven't had those or check those out, go by, check those out. Great story. We cover a lot of the history. We've got Mike with us today. We're going to cover some different things than we did last time, so you're definitely going to enjoy this. I want to say hello to Mike. How you doing today, Mike?
Man, I'm fantastic, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing really well. Very blessed with everything that's going on. I feel pretty blessed to be able to continue life as much normalcy as what we can. How are you guys dealing with the whole COVID pandemic?
Me personally, I have I'm enjoying it. You know, one of the things that you may or may not see me on social media as active as maybe Skip or my partner or Danny, one of the guys that works for us. But I spend a ton of time traveling, especially this time of year, right? So between really, kind of mid-March, even sometimes as early as January through May, I'm on the road, nonstop. And so taking the last, 5 to 6 weeks, and just kind of still working from the house has really been a blessing. That's the silver lining for me is getting a chance to kind of see my kids in a time of year where, I'm not necessarily around as often. So typically what would happen is I would be on the road or at home, Monday through Wednesday, and then Thursday through Sunday, I would fly out and be kind of wherever. And so it got so bad that, oftentimes I would have to fly them to wherever I'm at.
Oh, wow.
If it's a fun place, so like if I'm going to, Orlando or, someplace that's really cool, which is kind of nice whenever I get to build up a lot of the points. And then just say, why don't we just, spend a weekend and together and fly them out. So, they've got to travel quite extensively. So I've got 2 kids, I've got a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old. And so, so that's been fantastic. So for me personally. As far as Danny and John, and Skip, Skip's been here in the States, pretty much, most of this, since they kind of shut everything down kind of towards March, him and his family flew back up from Nicaragua. So, but everyone's kind of working from home. We've really taken advantage of the video chats, the Zoom, kind of engaging into a lot of the consumer, education, and what's really kind of cool is we've always talked about, how do you utilize some of this technology to kind of cut back on some of the travel. And, it took a pandemic to be able to kind of get people on board with that versus, coming into the store, to the shop. And it's been really great to see a lot of the stores really adapt to either phone service or customer service or, telephone sales and, and having it ready. So when you do those types of events, you can kind of engage as well as get a chance to, be able to sell some product to the people, hopefully when you are doing those types of events, there's obviously good value in that. So it's been great. So me and the team have definitely, we get up in the morning, we have a video call just for, the team, talk about, today's agenda, what we have planned and what we got to achieve and accomplish. And then, do some sales and calls and check in on people. And then, then at nighttime, we basically have been doing these Zoom calls with, different groups of people throughout, the U.S. and different countries. I've probably done about 4 for other countries and a boatload for, here in the United States. So it's been really fun. That's how we've taken advantage and really tried to and motivate a lot of the retail partners, right? Because I think it's easy to kind of get down, on the woe is me. But I think if, you're bringing some excitement, bringing value to them, like they really have the ones that are trying to adapt have really kind of locked in on that. And I think there'll be better retail partners in the future for that.
Yeah. And I think that through this experience, you're going to really see a change in the landscape of the cigar industry as a whole, because retailers, when they make this adjustment now, they're going to see the value long term, I think. And like you said, it took a pandemic for us to jump on this new technology. And I don't think that technology will go away once this is over. So I think you're spot on. So I wanted to ask you, though, how is it working from home with your kids not being in school and they're there all day? I mean, are you guys having a lot of fun? Or are they like, because I missed those ages whenever my kids were that young.
Yeah, so I would think that what's really interesting is the day kind of starts a little earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like where before they would be gone by 7:30, 7:45 and off to school, and so that has definitely changed. So what I mean with that is they're logging onto the computers about 8:30, 9, and but Jamie really has taken, over that aspect of it. And, and then I basically spend my day on calls, basically. So I sit on the patio and enjoy a cigar while I make my calls. And, like I said, and just this, my outside patio, the weather's nice in Texas, right? So I think as of right now, it's a Friday, the 24th, and we have it's pretty warm weather. Let's see what we got today. We are sitting at 97 degrees.
97, so, wow.
90, yeah. So it's now tomorrow we'll be down to 78, but it's definitely we've had some record. Luckily, nice breeze, and so I've been fortunate. So like I said, I just kind of run command center from my patio, and that's definitely been so the kids kind of do that, and I go in lunchtime and. One of the coolest things that I've done is my son is really taking a liking to playing poker.
Oh, so cool! Man.
I had some poker chips that I hadn't used, back whenever the World Series of Poker was a big thing. The real fancy cards that are slick and this, that, and the other. And so he's really taken a liking. So we've been playing, no limit hold'em, 5-card stud, and all the different types of things. And so. Like I said, it's kind of been like camp, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've really enjoyed it. I know they have. And, especially at this age before, my son's 13, right? So before he finds girls that I'm no longer relevant.
Right.
It's been great. So, so I'm, like I said, I couldn't have asked for, I'm blessed. And, and that's one of the things that, I think, happiness is a choice, as much as that and what I mean by that is you can choose to let things kind of get you down, or you can choose to kind of power through and dig deep, and it's all about mindset, and has there been a slowdown per se? Yes, but at the same time, like, when I look at all the things that we've added that bring happiness and joy, then I feel like I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? So there's a sacrifice, and so I'm a big believer, in that, and so it's been great, like I said, in all facets, right? So the retail partners, the ones that have adapted are still selling product, they're still doing orders, I'm still able to pay my sales guys and Sean, who does the logistics stuff to do what they have to do. Now in a typical May, are we doing the numbers that we would normally do? No, not at all. But are we doing enough to keep things floating and until we kind of turn the page? Absolutely. So like I said, I mean, I think that I can choose to pouty and crying and woe is me, just like everybody else, or you can figure out the things that really bring some joy and happiness and kind of focus on those.
Yeah, and I think that's where that, like you say, you can choose to be happy, and I think if you look for those moments and different opportunities that you can spend, especially with family, that can because how often would you ever have the chance to spend days with your kids when they normally would be in school this time of year? And so you're getting some quality time that you might not ever get again. So I mean, that's special.
So very, very like I said, it's been above and beyond my expectations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that and like I said, I think that when you kind of put it in perspective, and some of those things, so here in Austin, I mean, I'm at the capital of Texas, right? So over the weekend, they had these people that were like saying, free us and let us go back to work and this and the other. And, one of the things that kind of hit me was, not everybody's situation is the same,
right?
And I get that, but I also don't understand. It's like, on one perspective, you can still, like, I drove by the car wash. There's people out there washing their car. There's people, still going to the store. They're still going to do, fixing up their house. And, so things are still kind of going. And we've been fortunate that, sorry, somebody's texting me that we've been pretty fortunate that the rate and how quickly is it's kind of spread has been relatively low, overall. And number one, and I think that, so like I said, I mean, not everyone's situation is like mine, and I completely understand for those that want to get back to work. I, however, on the other hand, am completely content being here. However, if the weather keeps, going at this rate, I'll probably be going to the office regardless, just because I want to smoke inside the AC, pretty soon. Cause get to the point where it's too brutal. But, so, like I said, we're just taking it one day at a time and just kind of focusing on that. So it's been, one of the things that I kind of wanted to bring up on this opportunity, one of the biggest challenge that probably we're facing is this thing called Weasel Fest. Are you familiar with that?
Say that again. You say Weasel Fest?
Yeah, Weasel Fest.
I know what the weasels are, but I don't know about Weasel Fest.
All right. So we were planning on doing our 10th anniversary this year. And so as a party, so typically we do a party at IPCPR or PAC, which is our cigar trade show. It happens in July. And like last year, we rented out the Tao in Las Vegas. This year, we decided to kind of save some of that money and do something here in Austin for the consumers. And typically in the past, the theory was we would have these parties for our retail partners. And then what would happen was it would be like the party for the whole thing. And so you would have all manufacturers coming, which isn't a big deal, but it just became this, became known for throwing these really cool parties. And so what we're doing is, so originally it was scheduled for May 23rd, which is Memorial Day weekend here in Austin, Texas. And because of the COVID thing, we've had to push the date back to September 5th. And so the challenge right now, is we still don't have a vaccine. We don't really know if they do open things up, or we're still going to be limited to small amounts of people and separation and the social distancing and things that have kind of happened. So that is that's kind of a challenge because, we're hoping by September we'll be back to normal, but we're not really sure what, will be allowed and not allowed. Right. So, but we had, Scarface, which is a Houston hip hop artist, rapper from the Houston area that was going to come in and play in 3 or 4 bands. We had our DJ who usually plays our party in Vegas is flying out. Style Switch Barbecue, which is a local barbecue joint.
Oh, I know you love that place.
Yeah, man. And we had Valentina Tacos was going to come over and do some Tex-Mex. And so Garrison Brothers, we're picking out a barrel for Garrison Brothers that'll have some drinks available there. But anyway, so we've had to go in and change these dates and redo these contracts because of what had happened, with COVID. And so now we're kind of working on getting all the dates, changed, obviously with the contingency that we may have to change it one more time. So it's is it a disruption? Yes. But is it a big deal? Not really, but so essentially, I think the tickets are about $200, comes with drinks and food. And then for an additional $100, we have a Grand Figurado, which comes in every blend that we have done.
Oh, wow.
Including Wanderlust and Baca. So there were 8 cigars in a 6x60 Grand Perfecto that we were going to, we did this in this, 10th anniversary limited edition box. It's only available at this venue.
Wow.
And so, yeah, so it's, like I said, as we get closer, and further along, hopefully we can kind of get some more information out as we get information. But I think that was something that a lot of people, obviously we're looking forward to. So, but like I said, as of right now, we're tentatively for September 5th.
I got you. So where are you going to hold it at? Do you know that part yet?
Yeah. So in our space, when you walk outside, you're looking at the kind of like the parking lot. Over on the left-hand side, there's this big green field. And so we were going to build a stage and have basically block off that so it's like this horseshoe style kind of turnaround.
Right.
And we were going to block that off and basically put, all of the food vendors kind of in the parking lot patio or in that parking lot, U-shaped area. And then on that green field, we were going to build a stage and put out a tent and, basically have all the tables under a tent, looking at the stage. So really cool concept, and looking forward to pulling that off. I mean, it's no small task. I think our budget for it's like $210,000. So it's going to be a pretty cool party.
Well, that's going to be September 5th. I'm going to mark that off on my calendar right now because I think that's something that me and Bryant definitely want to attend.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know the train car and I know the people at the Leaf were talking about, carpooling up and bringing a big group. So, obviously you may want to link up with them.
Yeah, so absolutely.
So that it's a Saturday day. Basically, it'll probably go from 2 to whenever. And, we're looking forward to having a really good time. And hopefully, by then we'll have some normalcy. And it'll be a good time to get the people out and really have a big, some camaraderie and some really some fun and energy kind of brought back in. The cigar industry needs some good news.
Yeah, and I think I think after everybody's kind of stuck at home for a while, there is going to be a time when everybody's just completely ready to get out and socialize. So that sounds like a great time, man. It's definitely something I'll be looking forward to.
Oh, for sure.
So I was going to say, how about if you tell us a little bit about all the different lines that have come about in the last year for RoMa Craft? I mean, you guys have introduced a lot of different sticks over the last, say, 12 months.
Yes and no. So I think last year in Q1 of 2019, Q2, so I think we had shipped out the majority of the broadleaf that we were going to ship out for the year. And in the early phase, typically we get Cro-Magnon in Q1, Q2, as well as, Q3, Q4, right? Kind of finishing up the end of the year. Last year, with the broadleaf situation, the broadleaf that was coming out, was not a good enough quality for us to use. So we kind of started off opening up the Whiskey Rebellion, which was a shop exclusive for Famous, and decided to take that to a national and opening that up to all the retail partners. So we did that at the trade show, and that was kind of, phase one. Phase two, if you don't know anything about the Whiskey Rebellion was kind of a line extension in the Intemperance line. And because originally the Intemperance only had a Brazil Arapiraca for the BA, and the EC, Ecuador, Connecticut, was in five or six different sizes. And so the Whiskey Rebellion, which is another kind of play on Prohibition, is a Habano wrapper. And so
that's actually what I'm smoking right now, Mike.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic cigar. It's done very, very well. And so then, another thing that kind of happened, a friend of ours, Jack Tarano, I don't know if you had him on the show.
No, we have not. I've wanted to have him on the show, so if you can help us out there.
Yeah, no, I'll put you in touch with Jack. He's a great guy, and really big personality, and just a good dude altogether. And I, we've always been friends with Jack. So Jack, obviously worked with the Tarano family. The Tarano family sold to Scandinavia, which is General Cigar, and so they brought him on to be a ambassador for the brand, because obviously he's got close relationships to. Obviously, he has a last name, and is related to the Tarano family, and so he spent probably about 2 years with General Cigar promoting that brand, and he had asked us to do a project with him to kind of help stimulate and kind of reboot the lineup. And so we had talked to him about doing a Cameroon project. So the Tarano had a Cameroon cigar that they had done that we were all kind of big fondly of, and so Raul and Esteban Disla, who actually Esteban used to work for me here in the States as a roller, and I think we talked about that in the past, and his brother Esteban actually does all the procurement in the factory and is a business partner in the factory in SLE. So anyways, they used to work for the Tarano family when they were like 17, 18 years old, 16 years old. They were brought over from the Dominican Republic over into Nicaragua to help start basically a rolling school to help people kind of learn this technique that they were using in the Dominican. And so they obviously have now gone on to do a lot of big things. Obviously Esteban's part, with Nica Sueño, and Raul's now running Nata, which helps, Steve Saka and these other brands, with their blends. And so very, very sharp couple brothers. And so, and plus, obviously when they worked for Scandinavia, they had helped blend all of the CAO and Tarano cigars. So they're very, familiar with those blends and La Traviata and a lot of good cigars that came out of that factory. And so, but the Cameroon project was one that we kind of eyeballed and said, hey, you allow us to kind of go into your factory, and because they've got millions and millions of dollars worth of tobacco, I said, let us select the wrapper leaf and the whole lineup, and we'll make it in our factory and put our spin on it. Then we would be interested in doing something like that. And so we got all the way through the project, and Jack decided to take another job with the Espinosa cigars, and they kind of pulled the plug on that. And so anyway, so we decided to reblend our own cigar, and we came out with Baca, which is a Cameroon project that we have, we release it in two sizes, 4.5 by 52 and a 4 by 46 for the time being. And then we're going to release the 5 3/4 by 46 and a couple other sizes later on this year.
Yeah.
That's been a lot, pretty exciting.
My co-host actually gave me the 4 by 46 last week. And I tell you what, that was a great stick. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's, the idea, Cameroon is the only thing really consistent about Cameroon is that it's inconsistent in color. And so, so when you look at a box, like you have all these, variations of color. So to get them to all smoke the same, even though they're different color shades and thicknesses, is quite challenging. So, so that's been a really, from a skill set perspective, has been a real, it's been a fun challenge. Because the guys at our facility, are really, really good at what they do. And then, we had a couple of limited editions that kind of popped out. So we had, we did the Craft, we did Witchcraft, we did the Don Bosco, and I may be missing one or two, but those are the ones that kind of jump off the top of my forehead. But so the Don Bosco was a Fomorian kind of inside, it was a Candela with broadleaf kind of striping on it, and that was done with Old Virginia, and there were like 400 or 500 boxes that were released. We did the Witchcraft with the Witchcraft with Tobaccology with Brent, who runs that store in the DC area, and then we did the Craft, which was the this multicolored kind of Panatella size, beautiful cigar. And so, anyways, all the releases, challenges with those types of releases is they come and go really, really fast, and there's never enough to satisfy the market. So,
well, that's a good thing, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so, then I think later in the year we did the LH, which was the box press in the Neanderthal size, and then at the beginning of this year, early on, we re-released the OM, which is the Old Man and the Lancero Neanderthal for Fine Ash out in Phoenix. And so
nice.
Yeah, a lot of stuff kind of popping off, and which is a huge contrast, to this year, because we don't really have a lot of new things slated. Obviously, one of the better news that's kind of happened in our industry as of recently was they pushed back the FDA substantial equivalence application to September 2020. It was in May, coming up here in a couple of weeks, and so they pushed that back, obviously because of COVID, and but that still kind of leaves us, so we're trying to figure out what we can do for this year's release.
Yeah. So what do you see happening once the deadline is reached in September as far as the cigar industry? How is that going to affect RoMa Craft?
I don't think it really does. Really, I think that we'll follow the rules and follow the applications based on the challenge is that you're not really quite sure what it is that they're looking for, what they want, and so you're kind of left to kind of fend and so the attorneys love it because they get to milk you by the hour, and which we have some pretty good attorneys. I think Frank Herrera is probably representing 50-60% of the industry, which he was a trademark attorney, and then this kind of fell into his lap and has done really, really well. And so as of right now, I don't think much will change, but I think it's will there be change? Yes, of course, but do I think that there's going to be so much that it doesn't or it affects the industry? I'm not sure.
I got you. So, I got to say, not very long ago on the show, we talked about barber poles. And for one, I'm not a big fan of barber poles. I think that just for me personally, I think that it's just aesthetics. But I got to say, I did smoke the Black Irish. Jay down at the Leaf gave me one for my birthday, which is in March. And that may be the best barber pole I've ever smoked. And I was very impressed.
Thank you.
And not just the blend was fantastic, but also before I smoked it, it's a beautiful cigar.
Yeah, it's interesting how people kind of clamor over that cigar. I personally, don't get me wrong, I smoke them, I enjoy them. I think it is a beautiful cigar, but I like the Aquatine line better. So I'm a Habano guy. It's something that I quite enjoy a lot. And so I'm actually more, if you were to ask me between, one or the other, I would actually say that I prefer the Sabertooth, which is the Habano version of the Black Irish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's got a Habano wrapper and Connecticut shade underneath it. And I just, I love that cigar. But no, I appreciate what you're saying. I think it's, the Black Irish is definitely one of those highly sought after cigars, and I understand why. Like, it's such a unique smoking experience, and aesthetically, it's a pretty cigar, like you were saying. And then it doesn't it's still a robust, sweet, enjoyable cigar.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I mean, really, I was taken just by how beautifully it was rolled, and it was done very well. So let me ask you this, going in, well, let's just say once all this is over and we kind of get back to normal life, I mean, do you have any big plans as far as like your itinerary, where you're going to be headed, any events, anything on the books?
No, it's hard to plan events just because you don't know. And I don't know how it's going to play out. Number one. Number two, I don't even know, even if they said tomorrow, you could say, hey, you can go do what you want. I don't necessarily know if I would just jump out there.
Right.
Like I'm not super excited to jump into hotels or get on an airplane. And don't get me wrong. Like I love to travel and I love to collect points. So, anytime there's an opportunity for me to go do those two things, like I'm all over it. But I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. So I think until there's a vaccine or vaccination or, something that says, hey, once you do this, you can kind of, this will, lower your chances. The last thing I really want to do is bring it back into my family, or anybody else. Right. Now, I'll put this into perspective of how that works. Right. So, May 21st or 2018, I went out to DC to the DMV area. And so I got off the plane. Now, going through the airport, it was relatively quiet. Getting on the plane, it was relatively empty. So I flew in from Austin, Texas into Dulles, and Dulles is a very big airport. But when I landed, there was nobody there, right? So that's pretty creepy. And then, go to rent a car. But I drove over to like 3 different cigar shops. Every cigar shop had 10, 15 guys in there. You go in there and say hello. You shake everybody's hand, introduce yourself. Then, so if I went to, 3, maybe 4 stores before I got to my event, the event had, 75, 80 people there. And if I had been sick, right, and I exposed, let's say 100 people in the day, and then another, 60 to 80 people at the event, and then, whoever else was along the way, I personally could have been responsible for, 100 plus people being infected.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
So when you kind of put it in that perspective, like my civil responsibility is to obviously protect them and myself and my family. So anyway, so I just kind of thinking about that, like, man, what if I had gotten on the plane, or in the airport, and I got it and not knowing it, and then I kind of walk around and unbeknownst to me, I've somehow got all these other people sick, and then they got their family sick, and then what I mean, like that spiral effect. And so that's why I just decided, until this is kind of really, really under control, like I don't know if I'm ready to get back out there. And I know that's a long answer to kind of explain to you why I'm not really doing events, but I think I think people need to really kind of put it in those kind of contexts to really appreciate, understand like the severity of how quickly and easy this thing is kind of transmitted and, the repercussions of doing those things.
Yeah, because it can multiply and exponentially grow on a short trip. I mean, if you, like you say, you're in an airplane with 10 people and you don't know you have it, even if you only give it to 2 of the 10, now how many people are they going to expose on their trip? And I mean, it really can grow quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw on your Instagram that you made a switch, or at least maybe from what I read, it looked like you switched from Nikon to Sony. Is that true?
I did. Yeah. So I have the Nikon, I think it's the D750. And then I bought the Sony, I don't even know what it's
A6000?
called. Yeah, 86-500A. That's what it was.
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
And what do you think?
Dude, I mean, I got to tell you, one, it takes fantastic pictures, and it's so much lighter. That was kind of my big hang-up was, the weight with the lenses of the Nikon. I mean, that's a professional grade camera, number one, and I probably shouldn't have gone out and gotten that. But John D. Oliver, who works for us and was a rep for Zycar for the longest time, had it, and he shoots really great pictures, and so I had to have it. And that set me back like $2,000. So that's not a inexpensive camera, people shoot weddings and like serious. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's just so heavy. The lenses are heavy. And so when I went to the Nikon and the weight and kind of what it offers, like it was just a no brainer.
Yeah, I kind of ask you that because I'm a Canon guy, but I've really been looking at the Sonys, and I hear a lot of good things about them. In fact, I bought a lens for my camera off of a girl who swapped from Canon to Sony, and I was asking her why she would do that, and she was telling me the biggest thing for her at the time, and this has been a few years back, but the Sony had face recognition, and she was a wedding photographer, so she could like put in the bride and the groom's face and say, I always want them in focus. So when they're doing group pictures, no matter what, the bride and groom is in focus. And I was like, that's pretty badass.
Yeah, no, it's got a lot of features. I think, picture quality, I think mirrorless cameras, are definitely kind of be the wave of a lot of photographers. I've seen a lot of, pros switch over. The reality is used to be with Sony, everything was proprietary, right? Kind of like Apple, it's like you have to buy Sony parts,
right?
To get them to work with Sony cameras. And so I think they've kind of gotten away with that, or even the stuff that they do put out is relatively still affordable and at a pace that you can still go, oh, okay, I need this lens, or I want to have 3 or 4 different lenses, and they're not crazy expensive.
Well, and I completely was shocked that Sony has made its way into the professional photographer arena, because used to it was basically Canon or Nikon, and then if you got into the medium formats, it was the Mamiya and Hasselblad. So for Sony to make their way into the professional realm is pretty impressive.
So definitely, it's I'm a gadgets guy. Now whether or not I know what I'm doing with it, or I'll be honest, I'm not trying my best. I see these pictures on Instagram. That's kind of the whole Weasel thing. These guys are amateurs, but take really good creative pictures. Coffee and cigars and espresso and drinks and this, that, the other. All their things for the day. And really make a really cool
piece of art. Take
really great shots. Yeah, piece of art. And so you've been in our office and our headquarters. Like we actually use a lot of those and put them up on our wall. We call it the RoMa Craft of the day. And it's really people will tag me and say this should be pick of the day, and it's like, man, that's not even close. I mean, like you got to step your game up. Like you're looking at so now. And it's all out of fun, but the reality is that if somebody takes their time, sets the presentation, goes through all that work, the least I can do is respond to them or recognize them or do something. You know what I mean? And that's really, like I said, it brings me a lot of joy and happiness again, to see when people kind of go out of their way. And, it's the least I could do is, shoot him a high five or say hello. And
absolutely, man.
Tell them how much I appreciate the support.
So who actually makes the determination on the RoMa Craft photo of the day?
Well, we all have kind of input on it. And then, Skip or Sean will actually post something, repost somebody's picture for the RoMa Craft to back. And so I would say, Sean, and Skip have more control over that. But if I see something or anybody sees something and we forward it on and go, oh, we all kind of vote and go, that's a great picture. So
nice.
That's, so we try to recognize them for that. And if you go in and look at the hashtag, man, there's hundreds of,
oh yeah.
pictures.
And I got to say, I'm going to brag a little bit. I think that I have had 6 picks of RoMa Craft pick of the day, but that's not to be outdone. Because it is outdone because Jay at the Leaf, he is a very competitive guy, so I think he's had 7, and so he wanted to make sure that he had one more than me.
Oh,
so
no, he does some really good shots. Do you know what he's shooting with?
Yeah, he's shooting with his iPhone.
Oh, okay, he's cheating.
And let me tell you this. The guy was not a photographer at all. I don't know if you know this, but I used to do the social media for the Leaf, And I just got so busy that I really couldn't focus on both the show and doing social media for the Leaf. So he took it over. And within like 3 weeks, I was like, holy crap, this guy's a freaking photographer.
Good for him.
Yeah, he really impressed me. He like bought lights. He has backgrounds. He has wood and metal and all kinds of stuff he uses as backgrounds. I was like, this dude's like jumped both feet in at the deep end. You know what I mean?
No, good for him, man. That's awesome.
Hey, so I got one more question for you before we go. Are you still driving the Audi?
I am. Yeah. The kind of. It sits in the garage a lot recently because I haven't really been anywhere. But yeah. So I've actually been kind of thinking about changing the color. So I've got that black matte
wrap,
and it's a black matte wrap. And I was actually looking, and I was thinking about doing this red. So I saw a red matte that I saw on, I think it was a Mercedes or BMW, something fancy, and it was like, oh, that's pretty sharp. I just don't know if I'm loud enough like that to really pull it off. I mean, that's a speeding ticket waiting to happen. But it was really cool. So, but yeah, I still drive the Audi, and until they come out with something new.
Well, I think you could pull off the red if you go with the matte red.
It like if you look at it, like if you ever go into Instagram and just look at red matte wraps or whatever, and you look at some of the custom cars that are out there, it'll change your perspective on because it's they're sharp. I've never seen it in person. That's the only thing that really kind of holds me off, because a picture can make it as you know, you can do a lot of things with editing to make it look pretty sharp, but and that's kind of what. So what I've noticed is that there's a lot of guys that are kind of doing the same thing with what I've done to mine, and so I've seen a lot more locally kind of pop up. Not a whole lot, but I've seen 3 or 4 guys that are kind of pretty close to how my car looks, and and so I was obviously when you see somebody else and it kind of stimulates, and that's really cool that people would try to do something like yours and kind of mimic that, because obviously it's an all black look is really sharp. And I'm not the first person to do it. I know that, but you're always trying to be a little different. And,
sure.
And, so yeah, but I love that car.
Yeah. I think you should do a matte red, but can they do like the black RoMa Craft logo on the hood? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's, we've actually talked about that.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah. So, like I said, we'll see. You start kind of, when you have this much time to think, you know what I mean? I was like, I can do this, so, but yeah, thanks for asking. But yeah, it's a great car.
Awesome, man.
So make sure you put a date.
September 5th. I've got it already on my calendar, man.
Thank you very much for having me back on, especially, this close to being a year on. That's, it's really cool to see how much you guys have grown, and I appreciate what you guys are doing for the industry and being the voice for, the things that are happening, and keep it up.
Appreciate the help, and as always, it's an honor to have you on, and we look forward to September 5th coming down there to party and smoke cigars.
Sounds good, man. Take care, and thanks for the call.
Hey, you too, Mike. Take care. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Mike Rosales. Always a pleasure to talk to that guy. Awesome entrepreneur, great mentor. The guy's the full package.
Real deal.
Yeah,
man.
He's the real deal, man. And it's just like, you know what? He owns, well, I guess he half owns one of the badass cigar companies in this country. And he just showed up at our Herf the other night. You know what I mean? And you know what? He played with us just like if he was one of us.
Most definitely.
He wasn't like, I'm the owner of RoMa. He was like, I'm going to hang out with you dudes.
I'm sitting here chilling with y'all. I'm smoking with y'all. I'm drinking with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm playing the games with y'all. I'm here. And he stayed to about almost 11?
I think it was 11:30.
Yeah,
he stayed a while, and he showed up. I think he showed up before you did.
No, I was one of the first.
Oh, okay.
I was knocking on the door.
Well, you sent me the message, let me in again. Hey, so, I don't know what the waiting room looks like.
Oh, yeah, because you always
right. So what's it look like when you enter?
Nothing. It just shows waiting on the leader to let you in.
That's it.
That's it. And it has dots going up on it like, okay, we're waiting.
Just waiting. Okay. Well, I turned on the doorbell now, so
Okay.
at least I hear something. I just don't always go, oh, what does that mean? So if I make you wait in the waiting room too long, I apologize. Yeah. So anyway, we had a great time last night. We want to thank everybody who came out. We'll be doing it again. I'll make the announcement. I'll send out the emails and the invites on all the social media platforms, and we'll have a good time again.
Most definitely, because we did. We had a great time. It wasn't good. It was great.
Hey, man. I'll tell you who else impressed me.
Who was that?
Was Adam.
Oh, man.
Dude.
I told you.
28 years old.
No, his beard 46. That dude's beard knew more about music. And I was like, wait a minute.
Dude, 28 years old, and he was getting music from like the 60s and 70s.
True.
I was impressed.
He was a trivia buff too. Yeah. Hey, you want to know something about that band? You want to know something about that person? Like, dude, you're older than you are.
And he knew a lot of the trivia for the gangster movies.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, he did.
So, anyway, hey, guys, it's time for the AJ giveaway.
AJ giveaway.
And so let me tell everybody, when we do a giveaway every week. Right now we're doing the AJ giveaway. And but to register for our giveaways, like we said earlier, go by the website.
Easy.
Click on the register link, and you're registered from now on.
Name, email.
Email. We don't ask for anything else than that. We don't blow you up.
Nope.
I looked. I haven't sent an email out to the group since last August.
You get close. You trying to head for a year mark, but that's the truth about it because we don't bother you.
Yeah,
it's especially it's just about special things. If you won or like with the Super Herf, we're going to send you information on that because we want you to be a part of it. As far as dogging you and being nah, man,
dude, I get I hate many spams. And you know what I've been trying to do lately is clean out my spam by hitting unsubscribe.
Yeah,
that doesn't really always work
because you got to go to the site.
And then you got to put your email address in.
I'm like, you already know my email address.
Right. So what I noticed, though, are you on Gmail?
Yep.
On your Gmail account, there's a little button up at the top that you can just hit, unsubscribe.
Yes.
I just found that button, so you don't have to do all that other stuff.
Pay. Yes, sir.
Right. So
yes,
I like that feature. So anyway, let's get to this week's winner.
Yes, sir.
We have Josh Zello.
Spell that.
That is Josh, Josh, and the last name, I believe, is Zello, is Zello.
Jello.
And just so you know, because I don't know everybody who's registered.
Yeah.
If there's another Josh Zello, this particular Josh Zello in his email address contains 1910.
Yeah.
So that way you know who you are. And if you haven't registered, go by and register. You'll be registered forever. Josh, we're going to send you a couple of AJ Fernandez sticks right out of the cigar vault from Cigar Talk.
So you have Monday when you hear this until the following Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
That's right. Dude, I'll tell you what, being that Cigar Talk is across all time zones, it gets crazy.
It is. With Schmidtface in Australia. And
yeah, because Schmidtface is like
a day ahead, too.
No, he's 14 hours ahead of us. So he's the next day 2 hours ahead of 12 hours.
He was on that Herf with us. I said, man, send me the lottery number.
And he was supposed to come on last night. And
I noticed he wasn't.
Yeah, he had to do some work stuff.
Okay.
So anyway, we expect Schmidtface to be on the next one for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, Josh, congratulations. You're our AJ giveaway winner, and be looking for your when you send us the email to let us know that you won, in the subject line, put AJ winner.
Yes.
And then in your body of the email, just put your name and your mailing address, and I'll get that sent right out.
Right out to you.
So, hey, well, let's talk about the cigars we've been smoking this week.
Ooh.
I've had a lot of good sticks.
Ooh.
And you know what? I had a lot of good sticks just last night. So I'm going to go first.
Go ahead.
So the three that to me were my best sticks that I had last night was I had the Whiskey Rebellion by RoMa.
Yeah.
Great stick. If you haven't had that one, I consider it a medium stick with a lot of leather, a little bit of spice, just a really good quality middle of the road as far as blending and not too harsh on the full body. You know what I mean? Because I try to stay away from the super powerful nicotine bombs. I used to smoke a lot of those.
Ooh, and fast. Too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so now I really like that medium strength, medium plus.
Yeah, your palate has changed.
Well,
it's growing.
And when you smoke 4 or 5 cigars in 4 or 5 hours, you don't want to be smoking nicotine bombs.
That's true. That's
so
definitely true.
anyway, the Whiskey Rebellion fits right in that wheelhouse for me. And then the other cigar that I had last night, no, I'm going to put that one last.
Okay.
The other cigar that I really enjoyed last night was the Petite Millennial V.
Ooh.
From Oliva. And man, that is just a smooth, silky, chocolatey, dark chocolate stick. Love that cigar. And, it's funny because I posted that cigar on Reddit probably about 2 months ago. And a guy said, man, that cigar is the most overrated cigar I know. And I was like, hey, everybody has their opinion.
Thank you.
But I had 80 people comment and say, I love that cigar. So, and also that goes to say a little bit about Reddit.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of assholes on Reddit.
Tell the truth, man.
I mean,
that's angry central.
Yeah,
man.
it is. And I'm like, dude, you're not really part of the cigar community that I know and love.
Yeah, because everybody has their flavor and their taste and their palate, but we all appreciate all of them, man.
Yeah. And, I have said there's some overrated cigars. For me, one of the most overrated cigars, in my opinion, was, I believe, Cigar of the Year from Aficionado was the Andalusian Bull. Oh. But I know there's a ton of people who love that stick.
It's a good stick.
You like that stick. Yeah. What's his name over there in Florida, Bill Bender?
Bill Bender.
He loves the Andalusian Bull.
My partner in Florida, in Tallahassee, Eric, he loves the Andalusian Bull.
Hey, where was Eric last night?
Route, man. Route.
Oh,
Wore
okay.
him out.
I got you.
Wore him out.
I got you. So anyway, then last night, of course, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I went with
Come on.
the Medallion.
Yes, sir.
It's hard to beat that stick, dude. You know what I mean?
I understand totally, man.
So anyway, that was the 3 I smoked on the show last night, or the Herf, and love those smokes. Yeah. So what have you been smoking that you
I was introduced
highlights?
To the Buckeye Land.
What in the heck is that?
Crown Heads. They had Texas Rose, the Yellow Rose of Texas. Mm-hmm. This is Ohio's.
Oh, really?
Stick, man.
Wow.
This is a bad stick.
I've never heard of that stick.
It's at the leaf. Man, I'm talking about spice. It has, the first third has a meat taste to it, and I couldn't understand. I couldn't figure it out. But when the pepper hit, I was like, man, this tastes like salami. Salami. And then, so me, I had to go research, and I said, I knew it, but the peppers threw out, man. The flake.
Did you grab a couple pieces of bread and some mayonnaise?
I wanted to. But, bruh, that Buckeye Land, I was like, oh, man. Dude,
it's called the Buckeye Land.
Buckeye Land.
I'm going to have to smoke one.
Yeah,
and
Land.
And I was thinking about what I just said. Maybe because I'm smoking, last night I smoked 5 cigars in a row, but I do enjoy some full body cigars. Yeah. And you know what made me think of that is the Espinosa line.
Oh, yeah. That Espinosa line.
Dude, it's always a home run, and it's like a 99 to 102 mile an hour pitch.
601s that take you everywhere.
Yeah. All right. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
All right. My number 2 this week is going to be the one I'm smoking now. I truly love this, and I thank you,
It's
man.
a good stick, man.
Hey, man, this Perdomo special craft series beer.
Yeah, and that should be, I believe that's the Maduro, because they came out with 4 different ones depending on what beer you're drinking.
Dude.
And that's for a dark beer.
Yeah, this is just delicious.
Those have been around for a while.
I had not seen this.
Well, there you go.
Thank you.
You know what? I think I have another one in Humidor. I'll give that one to you after the show.
Thanks for blessing me, bro. Thanks for blessing me.
That's what we're here for, man.
Yes, sir. My last one was my RoMa Craft barber pole I smoked last night.
Which one did you smoke?
The knuckle, what was it? Was the Neanderthal.
Oh, nice. That's another full body that I will smoke.
Man, I sat there and I was smoking that and drinking that Woodford Reserve, bruh. that's when I started saying, hey, you might need to start answering some of these questions. Let them know you still here, man.
Well, see, I think I saw you. Now, did you start out on the back patio?
Yeah, I started out in my backyard.
And then you ended up in the truck.
No, I ended up in the house.
I went
in the house. I was sitting out there for so long, I was like, wait a minute, bruh. It's time to go in the house.
You got to make it to the bed.
Yes, I do.
So, hey, guys, for you who signed up already, we're doing the Cigar Talk show pack.
Yes.
And so they got those shipped out, I think, the 24th. What is today?
Today should be
25th?
No, the 6th.
Okay, 26th. So those went out
26.
on the 24th. You should be receiving your monthly subscription of the show pack next week.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to experience the ideas of what you guys think about the cigars we're going to be smoking.
Yes.
I hope that you smoke them with us each week.
Yes.
And then every month at the end of the month, we're going to have a Zoom meeting with just those who are members of the show pack, and we're going to talk about those cigars.
Yes. Come together. And
we're going to create a community where we can just hang out, talk cigars, and also get recommendations from the guys who are smoking.
What to add to it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. If you haven't signed up for the cigar show pack, you can do that anytime. The cutoff each month is the 15th is the last day. So as long as you sign up between now and May 15th, you'll be a regular show pack guy from now on until you cancel, of course.
That's true.
But hey, something that we're doing also with the show packs, we're going to be giving out all the Cigar Talk stickers in every pack.
Yep.
After 3 months, you'll get one of our poker chips. And then after 1 year that you've been with us, we're going to have some badass medallion coins made.
Yes.
And so
those will be special just for you.
Yeah, that if you want one of those, that's how you get it. We're not, it's kind of like the challenge coin thing in the military. You get it because you earn it.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to do. So me and Bryant won't even get them for a year.
Nope.
So anyway, guys, next week we did have to push them back 1 week because of the special thing we had with Mike Rosales, but we're definitely going to be having Justin and Eric come on from the Burn Down show. They're on YouTube. I see them all over the place on social media. Love those guys. They do a great show, but check them out next week. But today we're going to have RoMa. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next week. Until next time,
keep smoking.